Thing about sports is even if you root for the same fan base, the entire fan base is not a monolith. Like there's a bell curve of fandom. There's casual fans, there's hardcore, there's fans that love the team no matter what they do unconditionally, like the team is like their child. Oh, no. And then there's some fans who just hate on the team, even though they deep down they believe with every fiber of their being. And then we're all in the middle somewhere. Even though us, we wear the purple Kool-Aid glasses, maybe a little bit too much. But here are the top 5 reasons why some, again, small minority, but some Vikings fans hate the Kevin O'Connell hire, even though it's a new day, a new dawn. You have offensive wunderkind, a young offensive-minded head coach going to come in and change things. Justin friggin' Jefferson, Kirk Cousins worked with him before. It's all good in the hood, but whatever. There are reasons why. Let's count it down. Here's the top 5, because we couldn't do top 10 because of copyright or something like that. Or maybe I was too lazy to think of 10. I don't know. Number 5. So he is not Harbaugh. And I admit, I was all on the Harbaugh train, hyped up. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. The track record of NFL success cannot be ignored, even though, does he win the big games? No, not really. But I thought that he would have been, even though we just moved on from Zimmer, and they talked about, the fear-driven environment and blah, blah, blah. But Harbaugh, he's a player's coach. He is certainly hard on the players. He's certainly intense and in your face, but I think it could have worked. But Harbaugh, it was a lease, right? With O'Connell, you're purchasing. Harbaugh was going to be a rental, a all-in on the Super Bowl within 3 years. If it doesn't work out, whatever. I think O'Connell is a guy that you can be with. I mean, if things go well with the Vikings, could he be here 15, 20 years? Certainly getting ahead of ourselves, but crazier things have happened, right? But we'll see. Next up, well, even though number five, we already bought our khakis. That's annoying now. Like, check Kevin O'Connell, see what his take is on Dockers, and I just wasted $40, man. Stupid. Number 4, reason why some Vikings fans hate the Kevin O'Connell hire. He never called plays before. Oh, Sean McVay is the only guy who does anything offensively with the Rams, and forever and ever, amen. Blah, 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 right? Even though no one made a big stink. Sean McVay called plays in Washington for a couple years, and then he got the Rams job at 30, 31, somewhere in there. And no one batted an eye. But then the Vikings hired Kevin O'Connell, who's a former NFL quarterback for 5 years, has been assistant coach for 7 years, and then everyone loses their mind. Oh, but he's never called plays before. Gotta start somewhere. Like, where do people think these head coaches come from? Like the head coaching tree? Like, you can just go and pick apples and pears. I was like, oh, here's one. Here's a guy who's 36 years old, has 26 years of NFL head coaching experience, and 36 years of calling plays. Like, he came out of the crib just like, dad, goo goo, spider 2, Y banana. Please. He's got to start something. Plus, it's not guaranteed that he's going to call plays. He might. I mean, this is being released after his press conference, so yeah, he might call plays. He probably will call plays, whatever. But you got to start somewhere. Andy Reid never called plays before he got the Eagles job, and he's turned out to be one of the greatest NFL head coaches of all time, right? He was the Packers quarterbacks coach under Mike Holmgren. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, that guy, the dude who crushed the punt, pass, and kick competition when he was 12, yeah, he's in. Great. Bottom line, you got the offensive coordinator of the Super Bowl champions, and you're stealing like half of the Rams staff as well, because that's how much they love Kevin O'Connell. They believe. And that says a lot, man. That should say a lot about Kevin O'Connell's energy, his magnetism, because I think it would speak volumes if O'Connell got the job with the Vikings and zero goose egg D'Angelo Russell assistants came with him from the Rams. But the fact that he has charisma, the fact that he's a good leader, that's why a bunch of these guys are leaving. They are leaving the Super Bowl champion Rams, coming up to frigid Minnesota to coach some football for the purple. It says a lot about Kevin O'Connell. Number 3 reason why some Minnesota Fighting Vikings fans hate the Kevin O'Connell hire. Midwesterners are generally afraid of change. Like the first couple years when they started putting in roundabouts here in Minnesota, I looked both ways because I did not trust people. That's what it is, man. Like, well, you get a typical Minnesotan dad, don't you know, to try, I don't know, falafel or sushi or a churro. Best of luck. Or, hey, I only drink mid-golden light. There, you keep your craft beer to yourself. Yeah, don't you know? Yeah, exactly. I think just in general, like, I mean, even though Zimmer hadn't made the playoffs in 3 out of the last 4 years, he had never been above 500 at any point in the last 2 seasons. It was just like, he'll turn it around. I think that there's just a general distrust of change just for change's sake, even though this was a good decision. Next up, reason number 2 why some Minnesota Vikings fans, nailed it, fighting Vikings fans hate the Kevin O'Connell hire. It's a millennial thing. All of a sudden, they see this 36-year-old Thundercat just rising on up, and he gets a head coaching job. They're like, oh, hey, you can't even spell football, even though you played professionally for 5 years. Whatever. Hey, you take your avocado toast and get out of here with your burned CDs. Wait, that's not a millennial thing. I don't know. 36 is like the fringe of millennial, but we're still in that area. Yeah, it will take it. But I feel like some of the older cats, like, okay, boomer, you're like, okay, we need a head coach like a Vic Fangio. Like, they would have loved Fangio coming in, even though Fangio and Zimmer, Spider-Man pointing meme. Okay, like, they see the football coach as the grizzled dude who sleeps 2 hours a night and just has like 5 pounds of dip in his lip, and just like, tackle him. Okay, run the ball. Cool. Anything else? Anything to elaborate? Is this Junction Boys? Junction, Texas, Bear Bryant? Come on. Get out of here, man. Lastly, reason number 1 why some Vikings fans hate the Kevin O'Connell hire. Vikings fans never like anything, which I actually think is legit. I think it is. Where we have been a snake-bitten franchise for so long, and we're always Charlie Brown, assuming that Lucy's going to pull away the football, and we just hate everything. We boo everything. Like, if Santa Claus came out, even though we look down on Eagles fans on our high horse, like, we probably would boo Santa Claus and throw bottles at him. We threw a whiskey bottle at a ref in the 1975 Drew Pearson push-off game. I mean, come on, man. Like, the Vikings could have landed Bill Belichick. Like, Belichick in 2001 could have cloned himself and come to the future and then be like, well, I'm going to take over Minnesota Vikings. And people still would have been like, boo. Like, even if we know now what Belichick did over the years in New England, outside of Spygate, and like all the Super Bowls won, and then we got the younger version of him, it'd still be like, boo, we don't like, you sucked in Cleveland, boo, you only got in the NFL because your dad was a scout at Navy, boo. I don't know. Like, there's no pleasing everyone, and sometimes there's no pleasing anyone. But overall, I'm pretty hyped up about Kevin O'Connell, because even though there were ebbs and flows in the coaching process, and I still love me some D'Amico Ryans, I like Raheem Morris, I was in on Jim Harbaugh, like, I understood the direction they were going to, but at the end of the day, if you told me before Zimmer was fired that you could replace him with a young, offensive-minded guy that's going to build around Justin Jefferson and the quarterback TBD, yes, absolutely in. And every single person, it's a lot like Kwesi. Like, every single person who's ever worked with Kevin O'Connell, who has ever coached Kevin O'Connell, has nothing but praise for the kid. So he's an excellent communicator, a true leader of men, a player's coach at the same time, and I think that he is going to bring a great culture to this team. Same thing with Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, and I think the Vikings are going to get some damn things done. But even after Kevin O'Connell wins a dozen Jerome Bardys in 10 years, some fans will still be like, Harbaugh would have won 15. But what can you do? Anyways, that's our top 5 list of the reasons why some Vikings fans hate the Kevin O'Connell hire. What are your thoughts? Add some more reasons down in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Support the work. Put a little something in the Venmo. It's Friday. Let's go, baby. But until next time, Skol, production value.